Yo, what up? This is D Knight, and you're listening to the Pardon the Interaction podcast. My oh my, we've had so much going on. For starters, in case you missed it, we've got a new addition to the Pardon Pie family, Tara Dublin. Make sure you go follow her on Twitter at Tara Dublin Rocks. Also, pick up a copy of her book while you're at it. Make her day, The Sound of Settling. A very fun and interesting read compared to the things we talk about on this podcast. But yeah, we're heading toward the do or die time for the 2024 election. Go ahead and hit up joebiden.com. Get that man like $1 a month or something. Help his campaign staff up and get prepared to try and save our democracy. And make sure to grab like one other person you know and tell them about the podcast. Make sure they subscribe and tune in every single week. We got a lot of things coming up for you this year. We need all the support that we can get. So if you do your part and help us grow our audience, we'll do our part and help elect Joe Biden in 2024 and save American democracy. And this is the Pardon the Interaction podcast. Forget to record this time. All right, Ty, don't tell any crazy stories that I have to hit the unrecord button on. And then like forget to hit it again. And then we're like, all right, time to upload the pod. Wait a second. What happened? Oh, there's no podcast. Okay. Well,
time to upload the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like, time to upload these 15 minutes that I recorded of our pre-show and 0 of the actual podcast. And I did. I uploaded it. It's on there.
I look skinny. Do I look like I've lost weight since I've been working out? I
don't know. You got to aim the camera down a little.
I feel like I do. I feel like I've lost.
Keep aiming down. I can't. You aimed it. It was already at your boobs, and you aimed it down, and all you did was show more of your boobs. Aim it down further. I can't see your waist. Or
okay.
Keep on going. Keep on going.
Waist.
Yeah, I think so. And I told her arms looked slim.
Can you?
And look
I guess he didn't notice that.
Can you aim?
I'm looking at the ratio.
Yeah.
Aim down a little more. A little bit more. Keep on going. I can't. I just want to see if you know what.
Or just take a step back.
What are your hips looking like? Okay, now turn to the side. Let's get the side profile. Oh yeah, you're tiny. Yeah, you're tiny. All right, now here's what you do. Take your laptop, go in the living room and sit on the couch because you're not about to stand up and try and do a podcast. Like, don't stand up. Like, it's not a job. This isn't the checkout line at Kmart or whatever.
This is, hey man, I'll stand in the checkout line.
Go sit down. You don't have to stand up and be miserable. Like,
no, I'm not miserable. I mean, literally, I stand up.
Well, by the time we get done, you'll be like, damn, my legs are tired.
I'll move by then.
Yeah. Well, all right. Did y'all read the little mini outline I did earlier by any chance? So
and you sent that to where?
To our text messages.
Was it in the text or in the chat?
In the text on your phone.
Share.
See, I even got it super specific for you, Ty. I did introduction, quip about the podcast, word from our sponsor, run down to the news, and then the topics. Happy Trump Arraignment Day, the RICO Bunch, the RICO Bunch, the kitty table debate, and then the Secret Service Oathkeeper emails, and Mar-a-Lago IT guy flips. Leonard Leo is under investigation, and Prigozhin got assassinated. See?
Oh man, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then the shithole of the week award, closing thoughts, and then ... just in case you happen to go last this time. And that concludes this episode of Pardon the Interaction, the same way we do it every. That was so funny. Me and Carol, we were cracking up. We're like, how do you not know how we do this?
There's also an extra tie in this call.
Yeah, that's probably her phone. Did you do that?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
I just got to make sure it's not an imposter trying to get our secret information.
Oh, did you guys get
our secret publicly available information? Huh?
Yeah. On Instagram, Carol, did you get from the fake me?
Did I get a what?
The fake me friend request. I got so many DMs that someone apparently cloned my Instagram and was sending friend requests to everybody. And I
better report that shit.
Yeah, I got a ton of messages like, I just got this. This person is pretending to be you. I mean, Twitter, I get, but my Instagram, I have like fucking 1,000 followers. Like,
yeah, that is strange. I don't know why.
Oh, Trump tweeted.
Sense. Oh yeah, I didn't know if everyone noticed that, but yeah, we'll talk about that on the podcast momentarily.
Well, yeah, I don't know why. I wouldn't have noticed because I have him blocked, but.
Yeah, I will explain what happened there because I can tell you exactly what happened.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's not anything nefarious, it's really just the obvious if you think about it for just 1 second.
Trump arrested.
But yeah, that was fantastic news. It's like, I'm happy. Carol, did you end up watching any debate clips?
I found some clips, but I didn't. I thought I heard something about DeSantis, was going to invade Mexico.
No. Well, he did say he was going to send the military down to the border to protect our borders, which I'm not even entirely certain is constitutional.
I mean, all the coverage I saw, like, just discounted Ron DeSantis entirely. But I watched MSNBC's coverage of it.
Yeah, Ron DeSantis was
because ABC's was infuriating. I was trying to watch a thing on. It's just their commentary was infuriating. It's like all like just super normalizing like all of this behavior.
They have a track record over the last 6 or 7 years of just like soft selling this bullshit as if it's like completely acceptable behavior. Yeah, I don't fuck with ABC. It's Fox News Light.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, they all are. CNN, and when I go to the gym, like I work out.
I don't even cut CNN on no more. So bad.
I work out on the CNN side because the Fox side is to the right. But
can we get the MSNBC side? I mean, they're not perfect, but at least they be honest most of the time. They're like, it's a shit show, guys. It's a shit show. Like, no one's not acknowledging the fact that it's utter insanity.
I like they have at least the appearance of candor, even if, like, I don't know, if the other ones are trying to, these are trying to lie, they're hiding it a lot better than the other ones who are just like, what's really wrong with this? This is the first indictment. Like, but he's the front runner and presumed nominee.
Yeah, it's very gross.
I feel like she takes a handful of benzos before she goes.
Holy shit. Yeah, the only person I know of that's for sure abusing substances before they go on the air is Janine Perot. I don't know about these other people. I mean, I guess anything's possible. But she's like, obviously out there slurring sometimes. So you're like, damn, you should have you had too many. I say that, and like people are going to listen to this podcast and be like, no, you guys had too many, you fuckers.
But I'm not a professional news reporter.
Yes, you're not a professional broadcaster. Or if anyone's listened to the Dan Le Batard show, you're not a professional broadcaster. That's an inside joke that like 4 people will probably get. I'm not going to explain it. All right. Ty, you got the rundown. You know where we're going. You got any hot takes about the debate from last night?
I know that fucking Vivek is a whole fucking clown.
Oh man, yeah, he's insane. All right, yeah, just keep that energy, save that, and we'll probably run through this Trump thing for like 5 minutes, and then I don't know. Let's jump around. We'll do the Trump thing first since it was Arraignment Day. Then we'll jump to the debate, and then we'll go back to Trump's co-conspirators after that. How about that?
All right, sounds good.
Okay, I'll count us in. You know the routine. What's our quip about the podcast today? And you're listening to the Pardon the Insurrection podcast, where what happens on our podcast that I do every week
is on our podcast.
You know what? It's Arraignment Day. Yeah, that'll do. All right.
We're Wait, in a state where no pardons could be issued.
Okay, that's a good one. I'll do the movie voiceover guy thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, this is D Knight.
This is Carol.
This is Ty.
And you're listening to the Pardon the Interaction podcast, where Trump has been arraigned in a state where no pardons can be issued. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. In case you missed it, guys, somehow out there, like, I don't know how you weren't paying attention to this news, but it's arraignment day. Yeah. Woo. Yet again, actually, you're probably bored with arraignment days at this point, because it's been like arraignment day after arraignment day after. If like this was a national holiday, it wouldn't make any sense because we'd be getting it every month. But yes, Trump was arraigned down in Georgia today. He turned himself in, surrendered to law enforcement, and we're going to pop a little champagne on the podcast, or I don't know what your drinks of choice are, ladies.
Whiskey.
We really should have a 3-day weekend every month, though. So if we want to,
Oh, yeah.
I would be fine with a monthly arraignment day, or like at least 4 more, because there are a few months where I don't have a 3-day weekend.
Well, I'm absolutely sure he's going to get indicted again, which means another arraignment. So we'll put that on the calendar. But before we get to the news of the day, we'll have a word from our sponsor, Sheets and Giggles. We're going to have a whole lot of giggles on this podcast because of course, Trump got arrested today, and we'll get to laugh about how he lied about his weight, like like women do on occasion. No offense, women. I'm sorry. I love y'all. But yeah, pick up you a set of wonderfully soft, amazingly luxurious sheets from Sheets and Giggles. They are incredible. I sleep on them bitches every night. I don't even feel like washing them, because that might mean there's like one night where I don't get to sleep on them. Like that's
wash your sheets. Wash your sheets.
Okay, maybe that's not sanitary. I'll wash them tonight, I promise. But they're incredibly soft and wonderful, and they are probably, if not the best sheets I've ever slept on, they're definitely the best sheets I've ever had, and I sleep well at night, and you should too. And if you'd like to pick up a set, we have some links in the show notes for you to get a Pardon the Insurrection podcast discount on us. So make sure you check those out today. And if
no one informed me there were discounts available for my my pleasure.
Yeah, I got us to hook up. If you want to go pick up an extra set, just in case you want to wash yours, and like you don't have to hurry up and get
regularly wash my sheets.
Well, yeah, but like that lag between like when you wash them and dry them, and like then like, damn, am I going to put them back on the bed at night?
No, they're on a rotation.
Yeah, there's a rotate. Yeah, stock up so you can have a rotation of sheets from Sheets and Giggles. They're fucking incredible. And if you don't do that, at least pick up the eye mask. The thing will help you sleep better at night. You don't want the pesky ambient light ruining your REM sleep and whatnot. Thing's incredible. Sleep with that thing on all the time. All right, on to the news of the day. Again, it was Happy Arraignment Day down in Georgia. Of course, the first thing out of Georgia after Trump's arrest was his height and weight, which was apparently not measured at Fulton County, but instead self-reported. And of course, Trump reported that he is 6'3" and 215 pounds.
So the absurdity of his self-assessment is what made it very obvious to everyone that he had in fact completed a self-assessment of his own height and weight.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to level with you here, kids. I am about 5'7.5", 5'8", and 202 pounds. And there's absolutely no way Trump is only 13, 14 pounds heavier than me, because he looks like he ate 2 of me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of frame of reference for being a big dude. Like how much?
Yeah,
that's okay. Oh, here comes a big dude.
Hey, what's up, big dude?
Hey, how's it going?
You hanging out with us on the podcast today? You're more than welcome to join us.
Yeah, no, that Trump weight thing is like bullshit. I'm 6'5". He's at least 260, 270.
I'm gonna go 295. Probably, yeah. He'd probably be over 300 if he wasn't like stressed out the last couple of months after being indicted over and over and over. And wait, what's this 4 times? Over and a half again. So he's lost a few pounds. But yeah, that it's total bullshit. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that was fucking insane. And of course, we got our trusted and true Fulton County Criminal Court Trump mugshot. The image that will live on in infamy forever and ever and ever. This will be like, you know how they have the portraits of presidents at the White House? You know, the presidential like Obama got one, and then like Biden's gonna get one. Like Trump's portrait will be his fucking mugshot.
Yeah.
That's how he will live on forever in history. And speaking of his mugshot, the first thing he did with it is he proceeded to send out a fundraising email with his mugshot attached to it.
Oh, dear.
Well, he's raising money off of his own mugshot. This is fucking embarrassing.
And he used it to make his Twitter comeback.
Okay.
He's so proud.
Yeah, well, and then the next thing he did immediately after that was post the same fucking thing to Twitter, which is
which he hasn't used since he was famously banned.
The hell was that, Ty? Is that what you?
Oh, it's my.
What is going on?
That was her other phone, and I've now muted it.
Oh, that was a good idea. Oh, Ty, did you sign into the Zoom with two, like your phone and the computer?
Yeah, I think so.
I sent your phone away.
Did you already have two? You had too many. You've been celebrating too hard. That's what happened. You've already had too much to drink. Why can't you wait until we're on the podcast to pop your fucking bottles? Okay, we get to celebrate together. We don't know how many more of these indictments we're gonna get.
Yeah, well, that's why she kept saying, "Are you guys ready yet?"
That's what happened. But yeah, so okay, apparently Trump is back on Twitter after a multi-year hiatus. His last tweet before this one, or I guess it's sheet, or I don't know how to pronounce this fucking thing with the X. His last tweet on the platform was January 8th of 2021, days after attempting to overthrow the fucking government. And his most recent tweet is today, Thursday, August the 24th of 2023. So it's been a while. And I will read the content of the photo that he posted. It says mugshot, August 24th, 2023. And then it's got his weird, creepy stare that I'm sure he practiced in the mirror for like hours before he showed up to Fulton County. Cause you know, he like a white girl on Instagram. He got to get his pose right. Beneath the picture, it says election interference, never surrender, DonaldJTrump.com.
No.
This is probably not the most elegant way to handle being arrested. I'll just say that.
Well, has he ever done anything in an elegant way? I mean,
it's totally fair. True. Well, you know, I'm sure he banged that porn star in an elegant way.
Well, in the literal definition of elegant, that means simple and like simple and effective.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of problems.
It was simple in that it lasted a couple seconds.
Much like his arraignment today, sadly, it went by faster than I expected it to. He was in and out. It was like he showed up, got out the car, ran in, wrote down some information, settled up his bond, and then got the fuck up out of there. It was like 20 minutes. There are a couple of problems with this picture that he posted of the election, his mugshot. First of all, there's no election interference. It's not even an election year. Second of all, the never surrender thing is ironic because, guess what he had just done hours ago in order to get this mugshot? He surrendered.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he did the math on the surrendering part, considering he actually surrendered. And of course, the reason he's actually even posting on Twitter for the first time in two and 2.5 years is, well, and I'll reveal this secret to you all. So his political action committee had been paying his legal bills as well as the legal bills of other co-conspirators in his multiple criminal cases. That thing is fucking broke. Where he started off with nearly $100 million in 2021, I think it's down to like $10-12 million in 2023.
Their legal defense fund?
I mean, it's supposed to be his political action committee, but yes, it's basically a cutout for a legal defense fund. Yeah. So that thing's broke, and he's got 18 co-conspirators in Georgia and another number of unindicted co-conspirators elsewhere in DC, and we don't even know like what potential future indictments might be coming. So he's got to stock up on some funds here, and the quickest way to do that is to announce on Twitter that, you know, he needs a gazillion fucking dollars after being arrested. And since he's been off of Twitter for quite a few years, I mean, I'm sure this will make a little noise, get his following riled up, to hit on this DonaldJTrump.com link that's asking for a minimum of $24 donations. with
$24.
Yeah, minimum of 24. With intervals,
right, one for every hour of the day. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the next interval is 47, then 100, then 250, then 500, then 1,000, and up to 3,300 before the final option, which is other, where I'm sure you can, like, you know, start at $1 and work your way up if you so choose. Also, if you don't understand what the small print on this fucking shit is, it says your contribution will benefit Trump Save America Joint Fundraising Committee, which, Carol, as you so astutely pointed out, is his
legal defense fund. Yay.
Bingo.
Yay, I did a right thing. I mean, I am the utmost authority in the thing we're talking about.
Absolutely. And then you have the options to check. I would like to cover the processing fee, so 100% of my donation goes to Trump Save America Joint Fundraising Committee, which is probably like an insane percentage, because I don't know like who does the fucking who handles like the processing fee on this shit. It's probably some shit he set up to scam off of this too. And then there's another option where you can make it a recurring monthly donation. So imagine that. You can make a $3,300 recurring monthly donation to his legal defense fund. This is the most grifting ass grifter I've ever seen in my life. Also, you can donate an additional, well, it's not important. You can give him even more money.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. Great. Yep. I mean, the most important thing to note from this link that he posted on Twitter is that it doesn't go to his campaign. It goes to his PAC. So, yeah, all them suckers about to throw away their hard-earned money thinking they're going to help him get elected, and actually they're just going to be paying for his lawyers. And maybe this is...
But it's totally expected. If you're still falling for this shit, like, just, I don't know, just vote away your own. Give him your Social Security. Just vote to drain it out of your own account directly into his legal defense fund, because that's eventually what would happen anyway. So yeah, if you want. So
yep. Well, that was fun. I mean, I don't ever get bored with Trump being arrested. Like I always find it entertaining and exciting. You know, like I made the illusion that a Trump indictment is like sex. Like the first time is exciting because you don't even know what to expect. Like you don't know what's going to happen. And it's just like an adventure. And then every time after that, it only gets better and better. And you know, by the fourth time, you kind of know what you're doing. You can like flick a nipple here and there and get a little kiss in while you're, anyway, I don't know that analogy got a little out of hand there. I'm sorry. Clearly I need to get laid.
Flick a nipple here and there, and maybe slip a kiss in.
Well, no, I have like some magic tricks now. I can like levitate and shit and like hang from the ceiling like Tom Cruise in that first Mission Impossible movie.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I've had a little bit more practice. Yeah, anyway, yeah. Did either of you find anything notable about Trump getting arrested yet again? No, maybe.
You know what? I am so over his being arrested or whatever. I'm so over it.
Sick of his shit.
Yeah.
You're tired of him being arrested? No,
I'm just sick of him.
Oh, well, that's understandable. I want him to get arrested again. Like, arrest him as many times as humanly fucking possible. Like,
I just don't know why he thinks this is good for him. Is it really like galvanizing the base, or they were already insane and they were already going to vote for him? Like, is this really making anyone who wasn't already pro-Trump like more pro-Trump?
Is that a serious question?
Yeah.
You want to know the answer to that?
I get that, Carol. Like, because the base is already all in with him. So he's being arrested, his mugshot or whatever, like they have no, like it doesn't matter.
That's not what I was saying.
Oh.
Oh, it doesn't matter to them. That is what I was saying. But I wonder if it would, like, people who weren't already down that path, will they see this and be like, oh, well, it is an injustice? Or are they like, because he's obviously angling to making people think he's like, you know, being horribly wronged, and he thinks that this is going to get people on his team.
All right, I'll give you an answer. Ty, you know how you're like tired of seeing his face, even though, you know, like him getting arrested is good. It's like, it's fantastic news, but you're sick of his fucking face. Well, his supporters, just like you're getting sick of him going to prison and you hate him, his supporters, even though they love him, are going to get sick of defending him. It's going to get extremely exhausting and tiring, and it's going to kill their enthusiasm by the time the 2024 election comes around, because despite the fact that he might put on this facade and that Fox News might tell you, hey, this is, you know, it's incredibly good that he's been indicted, like, which no normal person would say. It is in fact very damaging. And the only thing that they can do is try and brainwash the few people who like are wholeheartedly in on Trump that this is good. Otherwise, like, the mystique will break and he'll have no support whatsoever. The problem with that strategy is like, you know, maybe you have a small minority of people who are all in on Trump, even if that's like, you know, 20% of people, if even that high. And of course you have us and people like us who are like, yeah, fuck that guy. Never going to support Trump. But you also have a lot of just normal people out there who not super engaged with this shit. And none of them are going to look at this as like, oh yeah, it's totally fucking awesome. When the election comes around, I'm going to vote for the guy that's been indicted 4 times. Yay. Those people are like whatever opportunity Trump may have had to win those people, like the media apparatus that helps prop Trump up on the right, like that's going to turn off the people who are normals, the normies, as I like to call them.
I guess I think of a lot of these quote normies as also just being highly subjected to cultural propaganda, basically, not like through unofficial channels. Just talking about like the normals in Texas. Let's talk about where was I going this? Dee's making a face at me like,
yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm ready for this adventure that you're about to take me on. Please tell me more about the Texas normies.
Oh, just a lot of people will just take what they're heard through like all their culture, and they'll just take that as true. So people will say like he's being, yeah, I know you're saying they'll get sick of defending him, but people have just been hearing all along he's innocent, and the people who don't care that much are willing to accept what they hear about it, right? To a certain extent.
See, well, the point you're making, like, Okay, I guess maybe that would be a possibility if we didn't have data to prove otherwise, because he lost the popular vote in 2016 and then he lost the popular vote by even more in 2020, and that was as an incumbent, and that was before he was indicted 4 times. So there's in no way, shape, or fashion can you look at what's happened to him since 2020 and be like, yeah, the people are going to line up behind. No, he's going to get even fewer. There's going to be a larger margin in 2024 than there was in 2020, regardless of what like propaganda they put out there. I mean, the propaganda is basically just to keep the base motivated. And of course, like, yeah, maybe that'll keep the base in line and it'll keep the election close, but it's also going to guarantee that they nominate a fucker who can't win in 2024. So congratulations, GOP. Good job, guys. You're going all in on a guy who's likely going to prison if he loses. Great strategy.
Yeah, it was an interesting hearing. I'm going to pivot a little bit toward the debate that I sort of watched.
Yeah, the 2020 GOP kitty table debate that occurred yesterday.
One notable candidate, the aforementioned presumptive nominee who's going to lose the election and help bring down the Republican Party forever.
Yeah. Ty, did you notice that Trump's asshole in the GOP debate last night?
I did.
It was big. It was at least 6 foot only, and
a good 295 pounds. 295 pounds.
6 foot even.
Asshole. Yeah, missing from the GOP debate last night. All right, that thing was a total dumpster fire. Any of you people out there listening to this podcast, I hope you didn't watch it. I listened to it for you.
Yeah, but I was gonna say it was like Nikki Haley was like the voice of reason, screaming about what we were just saying. Like, you're gonna put up a candidate who can't win. I mean, it's not reason for our country, but it's reason for their party. She is like the smart mom.
Wait,
grown up in the room.
Wait, let's not give Nikki Haley a lot of credit. Maybe
but compared to the other people, she was the only one who was like
a voice of reason.
No, and she actually wasn't. She said a lot of insane shit, and then she would occasionally like temper that with saying something nominally not insane. But no, she was saying some absolutely bonkers shit as well. And I hate to say this, I'm not a Chris Christie supporter in any way, shape, form, or fashion, but Chris Christie was the voice of reason, and that's how you know the bar was low yesterday.
She still said that she would support Trump, right? Even if
that's the thing, right? She was like, I still love Trump. I think when they were asked who, if by show of hands, who would still support Trump even though he's been indicted, I think they all but maybe Christie raised their hands, which is
no Christie. So he did like some weird thing with his hand, and they're like, you put up your hand late. Did you do it? And he was like, oh, no, I was just like, no.
Okay, so what had happened is everyone actually raised their hand. And then when Christie was asked about it, he was like, oh, no, my hand was just doing a thing, which is like absolutely fucking insane. So that lets you know how far that's gone. We don't actually have to get into everything that they said specifically, because I'll tell you this, that first of all, that debate wasn't for us. It wasn't for sane people. It was for a small minority of people on the right who were absolutely fucking insane. And then for like maybe a slightly larger Fox News audience today for the little social media clips to be cut to go around. But I think the big takeaway from specific candidates, and I talked about this on Twitter yesterday, really, you can just go check my Twitter feed and see I gave a really accurate yet succinct breakdown. You can check that out. The standout of yesterday's event was Vivek. Yeah, Rama Swami, for a number of reasons. And we'll start with the most important. He's absolutely batshit fucking insane. Everything he said was either insane or a lie. For starters, in case you were wondering if like the 38-year-old tech bro was some kind of like, what I would say is, while he can, is while he can speak and kind of say things in a semi-elegant fashion, like the content of his words are like, you know, a QAnon Reddit board. It's quite wild. So of course, you know, that played well with the right wing audience for sure. His debate strategy was basically, I'm Trump, but younger and on coke. Which I like to refer to as Don Jr.
I mean, he was much more coherent than Don Jr.
Not if you listen to what he was actually saying, right? That's the thing. Like the delivery is one thing, but the content of the actual words is like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. This is insane. But yeah, he's probably the fan favorite from yesterday, even though he kind of trailed off a bit. Chris Christie, while semi-reasonable, you know, by Democratic standards, still insane, had a number of opportunities to kind of steal the thing and go after Trump and go after the rest of these Republicans, but he kind of trailed off. He got booed once for basically talking about how Trump's behavior was beneath the office of the president, and then no one else went after Trump again after that. Nikki Haley did come out swinging initially, pointing out the obvious fact that while Trump was in office, the Republicans racked up over like $8.18 trillion of debt. You know, I'm glad she's equipped to like recognize that facts do exist, and that you know, the Republicans don't have to constantly.
What a low fucking bar.
Yeah, to be able to repeat one honest fact. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But other than that, half of everything else she said was insane. I imagine that she probably won't be able to consolidate more than maybe, I guess the way to put this is Vivek was doing a Trump impersonation. He's out here competing for, you know, a vice presidential position in the Trump administration.
They all were. Like, I feel like they all were. Like, they were not there because we all know neither one of them is going to be president. But they were jockeying for the position of vice president. Period.
Really? Even Christie?
No, I mean,
Christie isn't going to be any position.
No, I know, but he's still just delusional enough to think he has a chance, right?
No, see, I think what Christie's plan is here is to hopefully sabotage Trump, and in case somehow the MAGA portion of the party implodes before the primary is over, he can either swoop in and steal the nomination at like the GOP convention, or he can just make sure Trump isn't the nominee and hope they put forth someone who's not totally insane.
Pence would pick him as a vice president.
No, Pence has no chance for a number of reasons.
No, but that doesn't mean he's not like planning what he's going to do. He's sucking up to Pence. You're so good not throwing you could have thrown our Constitution out, but you didn't. Like, fuck you. I don't throw our Constitution out every day.
I think you're thinking about what he was saying in terms of how it would fall on our ears, but really what he was doing is in like the way a Trumper would hear it is it's a subtle shot at Trump, right? It's like Pence did the right thing, therefore Trump did the wrong thing, and we shouldn't be supporting Trump. But Pence is doing this thing where he's like, I was a part of, you know, the Trump-Pence administration, and everything we did was awesome, except for that tiny little, you know, malfeasance where Trump tried to overthrow the government. That wasn't great.
Kill me.
Yeah, well, you know, he doesn't ever bring that up. But he wants to find that narrow lane of like, I can bring all the great thing, you know, all the things about Trump that our supporters thought were great, but I'm just more religious than Trump, and I stood up for our Constitution, right? He's trying to do like, I'm Trump, but I'm the straight arrow. Where you know, Vivek, the fake, is doing his I'm Trump.
The fake. I love that.
Yeah, where Vivek is doing the I'm Trump, but, you know, younger and higher. He's doing the tech bro version of Trump. And then, the other candidates, look, this is unimportant. The larger problem here, like the 50,000 foot view of this, is that none of them, apart from Christie and maybe Nikki Haley, have come to the conclusion that they need to beat Trump. They have no strategy to do so, and they're not even trying to. And so by default, the entire thing that we watched yesterday was a complete and total sham. It was theater.
Well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but it was theater if theater included actual real life train wrecks and car crashes.
Oh,
right. Yep, Ty, you must be drunk.
I am.
How much did you drink?
I don't know. I had the bunch of little Jack Daniels things.
Oh no, you were drinking like an alcoholic?
Yeah.
You were drinking the little shot bottles?
Yeah.
That's how alcoholics drink, Ty.
Why? Why shot bottles?
You get you a big bottle and then you pour yourself like a measured glass, and you make like us, social drinkers do. Like I have a bottle, it's right there on the fridge, and I get a glass and I measure a drink, a shot, and I pour it out.
Where do you get the tiny ones?
At the liquor store.
But isn't it a much worse deal?
Yeah.
Yeah,
by percentage.
I went to get to buy a bottle or whatever, and he goes, "Oh, here instead of a pint, you can get these."
Yeah, these 8, 75 milliliter bottles, and it'll equal. Oh my God! All right. Here's the secret, Ty. This is what you got to do. If you're going to drink before we do the podcast, you also have to boil you a pot of water and grab a tea bag and steam you a cup of tea. And you have to alternate between the alcohol and the tea. And like that way, the caffeine will keep you nominally focused on what it is you're doing. That's what I do on the podcast. We record. That's why you always see me with this fucking mug right here. I mean, I guess if you're listening to this, you can't see me with the mug. It's black. It says Vanderbilt on it, but we've canceled Vanderbilt for a number of reasons, largely because I have a family member who's an employee there, and they're a shitty employer. But also because that thing where they turned over a bunch of people's private personal information, like the trans people that they were treating, or even not treating, even if they just had been consulted, they turn over their private information to Tennessee State. It might have been the local DA. I can't remember specifically, but yeah, they turned over people's private medical information to law enforcement, even though they didn't get subpoenaed, and they didn't bother to inform people that they were going to do so. They just handed it over. So,
Walked up.
Yep. The right wing went on that fucking tirade about that violates their, maybe I've had too much to drink. Okay. What's the thing called? HIPAA. They violated, the right wing people were like, during the pandemic, that violates my HIPAA rights to ask me if I've been vaccinated, even though
it doesn't.
No, but no, this was definitely a HIPAA violation, and it's fucking disaster. Shame on you, Vanderbilt. I hope you get sued for a shit ton of money because y'all fucked up. Thanks, guys. But anyway, back to what I was saying. More importantly than the Vanderbilt mug is, Ty, you got to drink some tea before you get hammered.
Is that
or dying?
Tea?
Yeah, tea. Like
Ted Lasso said, that's
like the thing you spill.
Awful water. So I
well, I mean, you can grab like a Red Bull or something. Not that we're like, not that Red Bull is an energy drink of some sort. But you might not want like all that much caffeine and like the sugar and the carbonation. I guess you could get like the sugar free. sugar-free energy drinks. If I do happen to down an energy drink, I go with the sugar-free version. And, you know, if you would like us to start a green energy drink company that's environmentally friendly, we'll do that. I don't know what it'd be called. What's a good title for a part of the insurrection?
Oh, I like that.
Drink.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway.
Pardon my sleepies.
Oh man, you know, I guess if we're like selling energy drinks, that would kind of like conflict with our current sponsor. I'm sure he wants people like going to bed at night, not staying up all fucking night hammering our fucking.
They'll help you fall asleep even after you had too much energy drinks.
I don't think that's how energy drinks work.
Oh my God, you guys have to, if you have Audible. So there is a, on Audible, it's called Dirty Dealings. And it is amazing. My best friend, she said, holy shit, this is like the people that we knew then and we know now about, what do you call it? Like,
yeah, spoiler alert. This is about like people from like Ty's personal life who were involved in drug smuggling from across the border and like all kinds of hits in cartel activity. Ty's lived a crazy life. We're eventually going to have her like write her memoirs, and we're going to sell it to like it's going to be the next hit Sicario movie.
And just in the interest of time not being offed, we're kidding. This joke.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, all of
you're so funny, D.
Everything recreated from Ty stories is fictional. No cartel members were harmed in the making of this podcast.
But it's so good. Oh my God, I was like listening to it on Audible, and it's good. It's really fucking good.
I'm sure it's fucking amazing. Yeah. So check that out. Dirty Dealings on the Audible. I think it's free if you have a Audible subscription. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 15-hour audiobook. I just pulled it up by Dirty Dealing. Dirty Dealing, drug smuggling on the Mexican border and the assassination of a federal judge by Gary Cartwright. 15 hours. Go ahead and check that out. It's got 4.5 stars. I'm sure it's fucking fantastic. If you hear an individual that's described as like, chocolate complexion, busty, they'd be referring to Ty. I'm sure they didn't use her name in the actual story. Anyway, but yes, back to the news. I don't even remember where I was. Ty got totally thrown off track.
I was trying to remember Ty's Mexican pet name.
Yeah. The kitty table.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's really good.
Yeah, the kitty table debate. Obviously Trump didn't show up to the debate last night because he was scared. He was scared they were going to go after him, even though, you know, if you watch the thing, clearly the last thing they wanted to do was go after Trump. I mean, Fox News even apologized for asking the question about what the candidates were going to do now that Trump's been indicted multiple times and he was turning himself in today. I mean, they basically were like, Trump's awesome. I don't care how many times he's indicted. Like, if I'm elected, I will pardon Trump. And then it turned into like a fuck fest of like how much more pro-Trump each of them were than the other. It was very strange. I've never seen, so many people on one dude's dick, even though the dude wasn't there. And neither was like, it's like 3 inches. How are all these people all over this dude's dick? It's incredible. Like, how did he find enough room for this? Is insane.
It's my turn to put my pinky on there.
And they also like the same thing, a similar thing happened around the conversation about abortion at the debate, where like they all tried to out pro-life the other one. It's like, no, I'm more pro-life than you. No, I'm more pro-life than you. No, I'm so pro-life that I'll make it the law so that everyone has to have a reverse abortion. Like, if you're unpregnant, you're going to be forced to have a reverse abortion. I'm like, God damn it, this shit is crazy. So yeah, these people are insane. I don't want to, again, I don't want to like say specific things that they said, because I don't want to just like, that's not the point. It was all total insanity. All of these people are unqualified. And if they ever take control of the government would instantly implode, like on day one. Like, again, like I said, Chris Christie is the responsible one.
And he was willing to,
yeah, shut down a bridge and like to the point where people died over that because of that shit. And like, he's responsible. Like, that's the level of insanity we're dealing here.
And you know what is so crazy about Chris Christie, which I co-sign, is when he talks about that they defunded the police.
Wait, what are we talking about again? I'm so lost.
60% and 60% of like the...
Wait, in New Jersey?
Yeah.
Oh, when he was the governor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Way to be very back the blue there by defunding he was the first dude to defund the police.
And crime dropped 60%.
No police good, you say?
It dropped the
crime rate in New Jersey?
Yeah. 60%. They got rid of the entire police force.
Yeah, I don't think that was on purpose. I think he was just incompetent at running the government, and they just didn't have enough money to pay the police department. Like, it wasn't like, hey, this is some strategy experimental strategy to defund the police and see what happens. It's like, no, that was just, they managed themselves into like a positive outcome on accident.
Think so.
That's, but we're talking about, what was it, Camden?
Yeah.
That's what happened. They didn't like get rid of the police department because it was like, oh, this is some genius strategy we have, and it's an experiment, and we'll see what happened. No, that's not what happened. They just ran out of money because they're fucking morons. Yeah, so remember when I said that thing about Chris Christie being the responsible one? Like, do the math on that. You just, the other one's not so great. Not so great. Yeah.
Not so great.
Nope. All right, Ty, how drunk are you? On a scale of 1 to 10? Very. All right.
10 plus.
Okay, Carol, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do our Shithole of the Week award and then our closing thoughts. And then we're going to let Ty go enjoy her sheets and giggles. How's that sound?
All right.
I wish you had been slightly more sober, Ty, because I hyped everyone up yesterday about how awesome our podcast is going to be today, and how we're going to cover all the shit, and it's going to be fucking incredible. And I don't know how incredible it's going to be, because you're not going to be awake for half of it.
Historic Giuliani run.
Wait. No, we're skipping all that. We'll come back to that on our next episode, Carol. I was trying to find that tweet I sent out yesterday about the debate. Yeah, and then I also tweeted about how we were going to make an awesome episode of the podcast, and giving a brief breakdown on the debate, along with Trump's surrender to Fulton County and some other things. And that thing, that got 306,000 views, or impressions rather. I don't know, like, views is probably not an accurate way to report that. Yeah.
Listeninos.
I don't know. A lot of people looked at that thing, so I was like, yeah, let me hype them up and let's disappoint them. All right. Do either of you have a nominee for the Shithole of the Week by any chance? Possibly.
I mean, all of the guys in U.S. politics are shitholes, but since
no, you gotta be specific, Ty.
But since
Carol,
I was gonna say, especially since we didn't talk about it, I'm gonna nominate Pringleseen for trusting to get back on the airplane.
Well, to be fair, Carol, shouldn't you nominate Putin for killing him? No.
Trusting Putin versus
yeah.
Putin is kind of like
am nominating
to be a shithole.
Greg Abbott because he is.
I think he's ineligible.
Shit.
He save that for your closing thoughts. Greg Abbott ineligible for Shithole of the Week award. Perfectly acceptable for closing thoughts. Do you have any other nominees?
Who do you got, D?
I hereby nominate the Georgia Republican legislature for passing that law, allowing them to, basically establish this committee that gets to review prosecutors in the state of Georgia, with the implication that if they don't feel like that person is up to their standards, they can be removed. This is basically a plot to remove Fani Willis from prosecuting Trump and his co-conspirators in an effort to help the Republican Party save face, thinking that they might possibly win the 2024 election somehow. Of course, Ron DeSantis in Florida has already done this because they have, a different set of legal maneuvers available to the governor down there. He's removed a couple of democratically elected prosecutors. They didn't have that power in Georgia, but they granted it to themselves, and they're going to attempt to try and take Fani Willis out before she can get to trial. We'll get to that. We'll get to more of the specifics of that on the next episode. But yeah, I'm going to nominate them, basically just trying to rig the system and abuse their powers, all in service of Donald Trump, even though, we've pointed this out over and over. He's loyal to no one. So it's absolutely insane that you would go out of your way, ruin your credibility, and embarrass yourselves in service of this dude. What say you two?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Like that.
I wasn't that serious about Pringleseen.
I guess by unanimous consent, Georgia legislature, you are hereby awarded the Shithole of the Week award for trying to take out your frustrations on the black woman. Some very racist shit you guys are doing down there. All right, kids, closing thoughts. Either of you ready? No?
We're headed in the right direction. Are we? I don't know. Maybe the 5th or 6th indictment will make me feel a little better, like we're getting somewhere. And that October 23rd trial date request, I mean, that date couldn't come soon enough if it's granted.
That's okay. We'll save that for the next episode as well, Carol. Yeah, what she's referring to there is Kenneth Cheeseborough making a formal request for his speedy trial under the Speedy Trial Act of the Constitution, which will likely land his trial beginning before the end of the year, and Fani Willis requesting an October date, which is granted by the judge. All right, Ty, you got any closing thoughts?
Oh, Fani Willis is my spirit fucking animal. She is my spirit fucking animal.
So she's an animal that fucks your spirit?
Yes.
Okay. Go on. I just wanted to get the
that sounds hot. Can you record that? We'll put that on the internet. It'll get a lot of views. Maybe not all good. Don't check the comments.
Yeah. Yes, she is everything. I love it. But I love what Fani Willis is doing. She is giving me life. I can't even say what it means to me that she is holding them accountable, because it matters. The accountability. Jesus. My boy types so fucking fast.
Who, what now?
My boy types so fucking fast.
Yes, the 3 cheers for Fonnie.
But
yeah, hip hip hooray, Fonnie Willis, locking bitches up.
Yeah.
It's about time. Of course, Trump's already been indicted 3 times 3.5 times previously. But yeah, this one's got a special place in my heart because they didn't just get Trump; she got everybody. Yay!
He got every fucking body, and I love it. I love that for him, for all of them.
And then unindicted co-conspirators, watch your fucking backs. Not for me. I'm not threatening you. Just for this trial.
I think in this case,
process server.
Fonnie's unindicted co-conspirators, I think that might have been a hint as to who was cooperating.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, yes, but yes.
Yes, I think so too. Your hair looks so good, Carol.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. It looks so good.
Your closing thoughts are all over the place.
So, in conclusion, for Ty, Fonnie Willis is amazing, making her feel the feels and bringing the accountability. And Carol's hair is great.
Absolutely,
yes.
I co-sign.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about Fonnie Willis, but yes, I co-sign the fact that your hair is amazing.
Yes.
You have any closing thoughts, Dee?
I absolutely do. I think most importantly, just in this limited scope anyway, of all the people that Fonnie Willis indicted, the person I'm most excited to see face some criminal liability is Mark Meadows, because that motherfucker tried to disappear for like 2 years. He's like, I don't exist no more. I'm not in the media. I'm not in the news. You don't hear nothing about me. I'm not on the internet. I'm nobody. I am nowhere. And I think he might have potentially been in a position to get away with it if Fonnie Willis wasn't intent on locking everybody's asses up. Because I read through that Jack Smith indictment from D.C. about Trump's attempt to overturn the 2020 election. And I saw not nary a mention of Mark Meadows, even though if there was one person other than Rudy Giuliani who you might say was there for absolutely every fucking thing, it would be Mark fucking Meadows. He was there for everything. Everything, yeah. I tell you. And Cassidy Hutchinson could tell you the same. She was like the one person who was always in the center of every fucking thing was Mark fucking Meadows. He knew about everything. He was even the one talking about, hey man, it's gonna be rough down at the Capitol on January 6th. Why was he talking about some Proud Boys and some Oath Keepers? Like how he even know who the fuck they were. He's taking all these phone calls for Trump. I imagine Trump was doing the thing where he was calling his co-conspirators at Mar-a-Lago, using other people's phones from what we saw in the classified documents indictment. I wouldn't be entirely surprised if he wasn't out here conspiring on Mark Meadows' phone in the lead up to January 6th. I'm sure he's privy to everything. And if he wasn't cooperating with Jack Smith's office, you better start looking and cooperating with Fonnie Willis, because them Georgia jails is rough, yo.
I had a conversation with one of the lawyers who was with the person in the background that said his client was only there on January 6th because of Roger Stone.
Ruh-roh. Yeah, that's not good. And I'm entirely sure Cassidy Hutchinson mentioned something about Mark Meadows being in contact with Roger Stone in the days leading up to January 6th. So if they wrap his ass up, that would probably be it's already not looking great for Trump. Like everything is stacked up against him, except for like his one ace in the hole is in Florida, where he has a judge who seemingly isn't in his pocket. But if Mark Meadows flips, not only does he know everything, unlike Rudy Giuliani, Mark Meadows hadn't really been out here saying anything insane and lying on the record. So he still has a level of credibility when it comes to being called as a potential witness to testify at a trial. So that would probably be potentially the most damning situation Trump could possibly be facing. Like, not only someone who was there for everything, but someone when they testify, like, everyone will take seriously. Like, I don't mean just in court. Like, of course, the jury would take seriously, and defense counsel and the judge, but also the media, but also Republicans. Yeah. Yep. So, the fact that he's being held accountable is awesome. I hope that turns into him potentially cooperating. And even if he does cooperate, I mean, hopefully he would still see jail time. I don't want him completely off the hook because, of course, he's a dirty, rotten fucker. And also his mugshot is amazing. Check that out. Go look that one up because you're going to be like, oh, he's not excited to be here. And rightfully so, because he thought he skated. And that concludes this episode of Pardon the Insurrection.